This is Comic Picks by the Glick, and here's your host,
Jason Glick.
Jason Glick!
All right,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Okay, this last week saw the release of the 12th volume of writer Brian Michael Bendis and artist Michael Avon Oeming's volume of Powers. I mentioned this because this is like kind of one of their defining books. I mean, Bendis, he made his name back in the early days writing like hard-boiled crime fiction, but he's always had an affinity for superheroes, and with Powers, here he was able to combine both his loves of crime fiction and superheroes. Because this is like a police procedural drama set in a world populated by superheroes. Not any superheroes you know or anything, but there's enough familiar archetypes to realize like that whenever they want to have Batman get involved in a sex scandal, or Superman going batshit insane. It's like they can do stuff like that, and then not have to worry about like guys at Marvel or DC just saying, "No, you can't do that. That would weaken the franchise." And overall, it's been a really entertaining series. Like you got Bendis' knack for great witty, natural sounding dialogue, mixed with Oeming's animation style art that does a good job of showing the emotional side, being able to catch emotion for all the characters, and doing some being able to show some really graphic violence. I mean, you look at his style and it's very cartoonish, but he's also got a great eye for detail on how to lay out a page. Because I imagine a lot of stuff that Bendis throws at him, just lots of multi-panel page structures, and all the epic stuff, like doing an issue consists entirely of monkeys beating the crap out of each other and having sex with each other. I mean, that's not easy to commit to page, but Oeming pulls off with grace, and also some real spots of graphic violence, like people's innards getting blown out, heads getting knocked off, stuff like that. I mean, he's a great versatile artist, and and the series is a great showcase for his skills here. That being said, I'm getting ahead of myself, because basically the core of the series it's a character drama between two detectives. One is Christian Walker, a veteran of the beat of the city, so to speak, and his new partner, Dina Pilgrim. And he's the kind of guy no, I don't need a partner, and then she gets stuck with him anyway because he's your traditional man's man cop. He's square, literal square jaw. It's big burly guy, strong guy, and she's this little petite girl. It's who also a real mouth on her. It's very cynical streak a mile wide. And their first case together, chronicled in the first volume, Who Killed Retro Girl, well, has him basically puts him through the pace, introduces you to the series world, and gives you a straightforward superhero whodunit. Basically, naturally, Who Killed Retro Girl?
Right.
Of course, yeah, and the first volume embodies both the series' greatest strengths and its weaknesses as well, because they set this great world of populated by superheroes and their supervillains, and it hits the ground running for the most part. The problem is that the procedural stuff is great because you get some nice bits where you introduce how crime fighting works in this world. I mean, you've got cops have power drainers, they have to flick on every time they interrogate a superpowered suspect lest they go berserk and just start beating the crap out of the cop. Because cops, they're just regular guys, but they're also having to investigate superpowered villains and superheroes in case they ever break the law and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and also there's also a problem what happens when a superhero is killed. I mean, how do you do the autopsy, man? If your superhero's body can withstand is bulletproof, and how are you gonna cut him open in order to find out what killed him and all? That's
right.
Just interesting stuff like that. Now the problem is it's a great world, lots of witty dialogue, great character interaction between Walker and Pilgrim, especially when Dina finds out that Walker used to be a superhero himself, but after a fight his powers were taken away. Now he's just a beat cop, kind of strong, but still just living a regular life these days. But the problem is, it's a lot of times it feels like the problem, the solution to till the problem just drops right into their lap. Like in first arc, the killer just turns up on their doorstep saying that I confess this to the thing, and it's an interesting twist is put on the angle because like basically he wants to be famed for all this. Like he was the person who killed Retro Girl, and he wants his moment. He wants his 6 minutes of fame because he did that. Yeah, it's an interesting twist. Yeah, the second arc, role play, has a bunch of like college kids going around role playing as superheroes just for kicks, and then eventually being getting more than they bargained for after they find out that the villain they've actually hired to be their supervillain for this role play session is actually has superpowers, and like that's like what like they track him down, but then. The situation, it just kind of like unfolds pretty straightforwardly from there. I mean, like for me, like the first 3 volumes are kind of okay. I mean, they're interesting, but they're not. But like I said, it's not. The plot doesn't quite grab me. Didn't quite grab me as well as it should. I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, great art, great story, interesting world, but the story plotting just isn't quite there yet. Okay. Even though you've got a great sequence in volume 3 where Warren Ellis gets invited along for a joyride with Walker, and winds up getting more than he bargained for after Walker gets taken captive by a supervillain, and I also for those of you who got more purity interests, is also I guess sort of what happens when a superhero dies while having sex with this one girl. Yeah, so that's good, but for me the series didn't quite click until you get to volume 4, Supergroup. It was this government-sponsored supergroup FG3. One of their, I guess three members, and one of them, and they really hate each other, but they can't say that because they're working for the government. They want to put on a good show for the merchandise, for the money, and the whole public image thing. But after one of them flips and goes on the network, like spilling all the beans, slowly one of the other members is killed off, and that sets the stage for Walker Pilgrim to come on the scene and investigate what's going on. It's a great follow the money story as they investigate seeing the underside of FG3 and just like all the dynamics of what's going on to a government manufactured supergroup. And it's a great entertaining story. Especially what happens to Walker at the end when he winds up having to put his job on the line in order to reveal the truth about things. And for me personally, there's this great scene towards the end when you're seeing bits of the FG3 movie, as reviewed by, well, they don't actually say who these critics are, but anyone who looks at them can see that they're Siskel and Ebert. and Bendis' dialogue is just so spot on for a moment here that it's like he brought Gene Siskel back to life.
Yes.
I mean, it's such a great scene, and it's like after this, it's like, oh man, it was beautiful.
That's great.
Yeah, and as Gene Siskel says at the end, and as for the FG3 movie, shame on the producers, shame on the filmmakers, and again, shame on you, Joel Schumacher, for inflicting this garbage upon us.
A great line.
Yeah,
backhanded insult to Joel.
Exactly, because it's like when you're coming down to like crappy superhero movies. I mean, like there's Joel Schumacher and then there's everyone else.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and also what's also worth mentioning about Powers is that there's effectively 2 eras for the book. The first era is like the Image era, where it was published by Image Comics, which is basically the first 7 volumes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from volume 8 on, it was published by Marvel Comics.
Okay.
Marvel's Icon imprint.
Okay.
Yeah, because at some point Marvel realized that, hey, you know what? Some of our creators, they're publishing books for other companies, because we don't have a creator-owned section. Because we at Marvel, we like to have all our books owned by Marvel Comics. Right. Yeah, so we should, in order to make money off of these books that our creators are writing, we should have our own imprint for this. So thus was created the Icon imprint, and after volume 7, Forever, which details the epic origin of Detective Christian Walker, because guy's been around for a long time. I mean, those monkeys that were beating the crap out of each other in 2001 in the Monolith? Mm-hmm. That's how long he's been around since. Yeah. And that's a great epic storyline, especially as it shows you his conflict between his nemesis, the Wolf, throughout the years. But it's a great capstone to the first volume of Powers, and the second volume kicks in with volume 8, Legends, which basically has after the world's Justice League, so to speak, goes nut. Well, no, not Justice League. After the world's equivalent of Superman goes nuts and starts just inflicting his own brand of justice upon the entire world. It's like the president of the country here decides to outlaw powers, which is it's just brilliant because how do you get people with superpowers to just say, hey, you know what, stop using them, and you know what happens? All the law-abiding people who have powers go, okay, we'll do that because we're with the law.
Right.
All the bad guys, though, they just say, nah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so volume 8 starts out with the entire world in chaos, but it also shows that a new version of Retro Girl steps up to take the challenge, and to show that powers, we're just going hey, we've got to do the right thing no matter what. And it also sets up the main thread for the next 5 volumes, which basically has Detective Pilgrim getting infected with the powers virus. Because even though Detective Walker lost his powers years ago, now Detective Pilgrim has powers, but she can't tell anyone because they're illegal. And if she revealed that she had powers, she'd be kicked off the force because you can't have superpowered police officers. And from volume 8 on out, her life she's just going to a very, very bad place from there on out. Because after she gets attacked by her boyfriend, she winds up killing him, hiding the body, and then just having to deal with hiding all these secrets from her partner, her friends, everyone. And then then what happens is internal affairs come sniffing at her because it's implied in the first volume that she went and killed a known superpower villain, Johnny Stoppanato, a teleporter, but it was never actually proved. It's one of the series' big running subplots over the years, but I don't know, but basically the story from volumes 8 to 12 is basically the story of Dina, what happens to her when she has powers, and all the bad shit that comes when that happens. And that being said, there's lots of great stuff in the in the Icon era. You've got, like I said, it's fun to watch. It's fun seeing the powers just say screw you to the President's Act. Also, what happens when a hero's wife takes his special powers giving gem to go and fight crime herself, and just that doesn't go well at all. And also when Walker winds up getting new powers of his own, because he, after a Green Lantern type hero represented as the Millennium Guard is killed, the aliens who run the show there basically look at Walker as being he's had powers, he knows how to use them. Why don't we give him this guy's job? Yeah, so and then that works. That's an interesting thread as well. But I have to also say that one of the later volumes, volume 11, Secret Identity, which deals with another powers user who's got let's see, I believe it's Lady Noir. She has some vaguely defined evil superpowers. She got her powers through a deal with the devil, so to speak. And then after her demon powers start getting the better of her, the devil comes calling to intercede, and he wants a meet up with Detective Walker. And it's an interesting concept, and for this volume, I can see what they're trying to go for here. It's for a lot of scenes. This is probably one of the few scenes where Oeming's and Bendis skill reach exceeds their grasp, because a lot of the scenes with this devil person they're trying to go for the complete mundane, this normal environment corrupted by this evil presence. There's this normal and there's this not normal presence, and that's a great recipe for creepy effect. But I look at this and I can't help but think, now I'm going over to manga here, that Mail by Hosoe Yamazaki, which I believe I mentioned in the Dark Horse podcast.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he pulled this off perfectly. The way he did it in his series is beautiful, And I'm looking at this and at the way that Bendis and Oeming did it, and I'm not feeling it. It ain't scary. It just feels kind of like it's just there. I mean, the overall story isn't bad. Okay, well maybe it's probably one of the weaker. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be honest. It's one of the weaker stories of their run, but it's still not again an awful story by any means.
Right.
And really, there any complaints about the Marvel run but the Icon run are limited in this most recent volume. The final volume, volume 12, the 25 coolest dead superheroes of all time. I have to admit, I'm disappointed in the fact that we don't find out who the 25 coolest dead superheroes of all time were, but it's a great wrap up to the whole Icon run.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we get to find out as Dina gets resolution to her storyline, and the whole subplot of the Powers virus is wrapped up satisfyingly, and with Dina's subplot, I mean, I realized it could have ended in numerous ways. I mean, some of them good, some of them mega happy, like a betrayal of the whole storyline so far, or just some so recently depressing that you're kind of like, God, I only want to read this volume once and then just be done with it. But the way it ended here, it's a good ending to the storyline. It doesn't betray its intentions, and it's not just bristling depressing that you only want to read it once. You want to read it again just to see how it all fits in. I mean, it's a great capstone to the series, and it also makes me want to bring one of my disappointments with the whole comics market as it is, because basically Bendis and Oeming haven't said that volume 12 is the last volume of the series, but it's basically going to be the last volume they're going to be doing for quite some time, because Bendis, he's busy writing. He's managing the Avengers franchise for Marvel, along with Ultimate Spider-Man, and Oeming, he's got his own writing gigs with Marvel, along with his own project in Image called the Mice Templar. And I just wish that this series was selling gangbusters. We're talking 100,000 copies each month. Enough to convince these guys that, hey, you know what? Just keep doing this series until it's reached its natural end. Don't just say, hey, we love the series. This is our life's work. We got to put it off to the side for now because we're just doing too much other stuff right now in order to give it our full attention.
Right.
I mean, we just gotta let it go for now. I mean, it's I just wish that wasn't the case. But the overall of the series, a lot of fun, and I wish we get more of it. But as it stands right now, 1 through 12, great stuff, well worth your time, and it's also good, and especially with all the editions they got out now, because they're putting out omnibus editions where you get the first year or so of the stories in hardcover. It's a great value for your money, and most of the trade paperbacks also come with great extras like interviews with creators, and such, and give you added value for your money. So overall, great stuff, and I wish there'd be more of it. There probably will be more in the future, but who knows? Yeah. And on that note, I'm gonna call it a night, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. With hopefully, I'm going to commit myself this time to make sure it happens. Going to be catching up with the X-Men.
Oh yeah, good prep work.
Yeah, because X-Men. There's always lots of stuff to catch up with.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Laters.